Have you caught the YouTube bug to the point where you'll watch things that are on YouTube? Like,
no, I don't do the YouTube.
If YouTube was a network channel right now, it would be the number one watched in our house.
I don't know if this stuff is YouTube, but like sometimes you'll click on a video on Facebook or something, and then it'll open a window to a video player, and then when it's done, another one will start, and then another one will start, and the next thing I know,
it's YouTube,
20 minutes have gone by.
That's YouTube.
30 minutes have gone by, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? It's like it just pulls you in. And as long as they're somewhat entertaining, you can blow 30 minutes pretty quick.
Well, you've been watching a lot of Huell Howser lately?
You are old.
And
why are you watching Huell Howser?
I'll tell you this right now, Jeremy. It is some of the most entertaining TV that you will see on any public access. And I feel bad because the guy's dead. You see that? That was quick.
Yeah, it was a good catch.
My microphone just fell off.
Jeff sounds a little different today. I don't know if you can tell or not. He's on a different mic because his breath.
I actually am doing the show like Huell Howser does his show now.
They're supposed to have it fixed this morning. But
well, tell me about yourself. What are you doing here today?
Got the handheld now.
Huell Howser.
Why could they not find a guy to do a California show that didn't sound like he was from California?
He's from Tennessee, though. But he loved California so much. And
I don't know the story. Is he dead or alive?
He's dead.
Okay.
He passed away some years ago. But there is a guy that has archived every single Huell Howser episode that was on PBS. And I feel bad because Huell Howser used to try to sell these back in the day on DVD. Like at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the show, it's like, if you enjoy what you've seen today on California's Gold, make sure to relive it on DVD for $24.95 or give it to a friend. And it is, I feel dirty because I'm like, God, is the estate...
Because you're getting it for free?
Yeah, is the estate from Huell Howser missing out on this? Because I really like this guy. To the point where my daughter, this is sad, I mentioned earlier, my daughter doesn't know who Fred Flintstone is. When we were down in Palm Springs, she had watched the Palm Springs episode of Huell Howser because it's a great resource if you're going to a place in California to find out something about it.
Right.
And my daughter says on the way down there, she goes, man, wouldn't that be cool if we saw Huell Howser in Palm Springs? And I was like, I didn't have the heart to tell her. I was like, yeah, that would be cool. Because I don't want to tell her the guy's dead. Yeah, because she likes Huell Howser. Huell Howser, if it was not for Huell Howser, I would not know that the Paso Robles Inn used to be this big, opulent, huge castle before it burned down in the 30s.
Oh, well, you could just go up there. They have pictures of it.
I understand that, but I'd rather watch it on YouTube. We're asking you the question this morning. If there's anything that you watch, what's the one thing you watch most on YouTube? He goes to Newberry. It's on the way to your folks' house, Newberry Springs.
Okay, it's in California, probably.
Yeah, it's right outside of Barstow.
Havasu is right on the border.
It's right outside of Barstow. It's called Newberry Springs. And he goes there because he gets a tip that there's some kind of scavenger hunt that you can download off the internet there. Well, the scavenger hunt's outdated and nothing works on the scavenger hunt, and it is just Keystone Cops, him going around, the most embarrassing armpits start to sweat moment because this guy's live, but he's still going to stick with it. He's going up to these barns and like the barn, he was told it was like the largest pistachio farm in California. Not a damn pistachio tree on the thing. He pulls up, it looks like a meth lab, and he's like, hello, is anybody home? Hello? Oh, Huell Howser from PBS here. Hello. Is anybody home? I guess he turns to his cameraman. I guess there's nobody here. And he's trying to find excuse. Oh my God, you got to watch the Newberry Springs Huell Howser on YouTube, and then you'll be hooked. But there's another one I watch. It's called Defunct Land, and it is about amusement parks and the failures of amusement parks, and it is so addicting. Because
Mike writes in on the 805 beer text lines at 805-543-3693. We're talking about YouTube. What do you use it for? He says car repair. He says he saves tons of cash fixing stuff himself rather than going to a mechanic.
How many do you have to view and see that they're successful in order for you to say, okay, that's the route I'm going to go? Like, is it 2? Is it 3? Or do you just go on the first one?
Well, I'll usually at least watch 3. I will say I usually put at least 30 minutes into these videos. I recently had to replace just a little O-ring at a reserve oil tank, and I wasn't sure what was going on, so I started looking into it. You found the video for that? Yes, yeah. It was it was a link off of a blog site that a guy had done himself. One guy had actually replaced the reserve tank. It was $300. The other guy said, yeah, I went down to AutoZone and I bought a package of O-rings of all different sizes, because you can't just buy the one you need, for like $2.99. And so for $3, I was able just to pull that cap, put a new O-ring in. It's like a washer, put it back down in there, and the oil leak stopped. Yeah. And I was like, no, it's pretty good stuff.
How much would you have gotten charged at a shop to get that?
Oh, it would have been the part, which was $300, which I wasn't going to do myself, because then there was wires involved and all this other stuff, and then probably $150 an hour for, whatever the labor was to get it fixed, or $100-something an hour to pay somebody to do that.
Doesn't $100 an hour seem like a lot for labor? I'm talking every auto shop / boat shop / anything that mechanics. Like, that's very skilled. That's very skilled. $100 an hour? What do lawyers get paid?
I would say, some shops charge more than $150 an hour.
I know.
Because you don't know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you need to pay them to do it.
I understand that, but man.
And so you got to, I kind of
There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong with cars.
You think about it. You take it in, and they have to put an hour, into something, and then they have to pay a staff, and they have to buy the parts, and they have to pay the bills, and they have to put the lights on, and I don't know, payroll and all that kind of stuff. To me, it doesn't sound like in today's economy that it's that bad. Let's see. Leroy writes in. He says it's the original MTV for him. Like you, he likes to listen to music, watch music videos. And let's see. Justin writes in, best twerking video. So I just typed in twerking. I'm not doing that again. Why is it that well, I guess you have to have junk in the trunk if you're going to twerk. It's just not my
thing. If I were to twerk, it would be a joke, because I have nothing. It hurts to sit down most of the time. Like, there's no cushion back there. It's just bone on chair.
It should be white old guys with no ass twerking. That's what it should be. 805-543-3693.
Twerking till their jeans fall off.
Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead. All right. Let's see. Other things you use YouTube for. I guess TV shows. More and more people are watching those now. And most of a lot of the fishing shows I watch, sometimes if I can't catch it live, it'll be on YouTube, and I can catch up with what happened yesterday.
I watch, like I said earlier, Huell Howser, Defunct Land. And I alluded to what Defunct Land is. Defunct Land is awesome. I get so caught up in, and maybe it's because I like amusement parks, but like failed amusement parks. Like, there's this one. It was called Sports Park in New Jersey in the 80s. And people were dying at this place. I mean, just like straight up, like getting injured. They were getting hauled away in ambulances on a daily basis. Like, ambulances would be there and taking people. And you look at how unsafe some of these rides were. It was like you and I built them in our backyards.
Do you think
it was just ridiculous?
Do you think that the Oceano Dunes will be on Defunct Land very soon?
Possibly.
Can you believe that 2 more people have died?
I know. Since what, Thursday?
And Thursday somebody died, and then they had the meeting wrapped up on Friday where they were making decisions, and I believe they didn't make any new decisions. And then someone died on Saturday, and this guy was riding a motorcycle by himself. He had a helmet on. He was doing everything right. He was, from the news story, he wasn't under any kind of influence of drugs or alcohol. He just took a bad jump. He just landed bad. And you wonder how long it's going to be before something happens.
I mean, we've all been in situations like that where you see somebody do something, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that. I could do that. And that's where it goes wrong.
Yeah. That's very
Maybe
true.
there should be like a way that everybody's got like 30 minutes in a certain area, and they can do whatever they want to do, but they can't see anybody else, because if they see anybody else, they're going to try to do something that's.
It wasn't like this accident happened with other people. He was being reckless. He landed. He just had a bad landing.
Yeah. I mean, it was off a 50-foot jump.
I'm sitting there going, how long are they going to allow this to stay open and operating? I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of people that go out there and they ride fine. But, it's just 6 people so far. That's I was looking at the news story on it, and I think was it last year nobody died, and then they've had other years where up to 4 people have died. But
is this just a bad coincidence? It's a bad coincidence, though, or is this a trend? I think the sample size is too small. It's a bad coincidence.
Yeah, but we're in the middle of summer, so there's still plenty more time. Hopefully, no.
Right,
no more
but I
loss.
still think that it's just unfortunate because, like, as you said, last year nobody died. What has changed so much in 1 year? No, it's just a coincidence.
Go ahead.
Well, on the dunes that you mentioned that, and my jaw just went, oh. They've made it smaller out there, and yes, it is unfortunate that several people have, lost their lives.
Sure.
But I'll tell you what, that place has been running since, the 30s, 40s?
A long time, I know.
Yeah, generations have went through there. And the funny thing is you really don't hear about the locals. The locals respect, they understand the dunes and whatnot. But you get a lot of these people out there thinking, they watch these shows or they go to these races and they think, oh, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to be a superstar, and not knowing, what is actually out there in the head and how dangerous it really is. But at the same time, I also heard that guy was speeding, and a lot of people speed out there.
Is there a speed
and I don't know
limit?
if you've been, no, there. Well, actually, there is. I believe.
I mean, I know there's a speed limit to drive on the beach. I think
right,
it's
on the beach, but I don't know in the back. And that's the other thing. It's like, they take away, like we used to have the Hook Fest. We used to have the sand drags. We used to have all these, things that people could participate in to get their adrenaline out that they need to do. And they've taken all that away because of something. Nobody got hurt during the Huck Fest, but it brought in a large crowd of people, huge revenue. But at the same time, they need more rangers. They need to stop making the areas smaller. You know what I mean? We're having less and less room to ride. I don't know. But I go out there and I see a lot of, and I'm not trying to sound like one of those, but you get a lot of the people that are not from the area going out there, and they're the ones that are actually ruining it for the locals. That go out there and do respect it.
It would be like me going up to Telluride and being like, all right, double diamond time.
Right.
There's probably a level of learning to various areas that you need to accomplish before you just try it. And
exactly.
If guys are, guys and gals are coming from the valley or areas like that, and they just like, all right, balls to the wall. That guy did it. I can do it. Well, that guy that went before you possibly had more experience in that area.
So you're saying that there should be education, like a mandatory education. How do you manage that?
Well, it's not so much education. I think if you got more people out there patrolling, keeping. But the whole thing is too. It's like the dunes change daily. They really do. You can go out there one day and there'll be a 30-foot bowl. You can go out there the next day and that bowl's not even there anymore, and it's a deeper bowl. 2 hills over. I mean, it's just so unpredictable. But I think patrolling. I think more rangers, and I think some of these people are just really to understand what they're getting themselves into. I mean, it is very unfortunate, but. It's just like Glamis. I mean, look at Glamis. I mean, there's lots of accidents there. People are always getting hurt out there, too. But it just so happens that because people are complaining about the dust issues, this is just giving them fuel,
Well, I think dust issues is an excuse.
Well, it is, and it's absolutely ridiculous because... Yeah, it's never going to stop, and stop cutting down those eucalyptus trees are there for a reason.
Until God decides to stop making wind come off the ocean, I don't think the dust issues are going to
go away.
Yeah,
no kidding.
But I mean, what are we going to do? Close everything down because somebody? I mean, and don't get me wrong, I feel sorry for the families, and it's very unfortunate, and that's heartbreaking. But at the same time, you got to look at the whole picture. I mean, it's just, and I don't even like to take my daughter down there. I mean. Just because of the idiots. I mean, it's just stupid. I mean, the lake is just as bad. I mean, you get them driving on the wrong side of the lake because they don't know, they don't get it.
No, you're right. I mean, and think about it. I mean, people die in the ocean surfing. If you live somewhere where there's rivers, people drown all the time in rivers because they don't they don't respect the water. You got to respect what you're kind of doing and know the situation that you're getting into. I get it. Thank you for the call.